This is another episode for Score Society TV. We're here with a special guest. This man played at San Diego State University, played several years overseas. Now the head coach of Windward School, who's nationally ranked and highly ranked here in California. My man, DJ Gay.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us, man. I enjoyed your practice. Very detail-oriented coach. Tell me a little bit about your balance. Tell me about your journey with coaching right now for Windward.
It's funny. Growing up being a former player, one thing I always said was I wasn't going to get into coaching. And I got done playing, and no matter how much I tried to get away from it, it kept calling me. Yep. And I had the opportunity to coach in San Diego for about 8 to 9 years.
Nice.
And after that, the opportunity rose here at Windward, and it was something I just could not turn down. Having the opportunity to guard some high-level players, high-level athletes, and also be at one of the greatest academic schools in the country.
Sure.
So it's been a lot to take in for my family and I, but I've enjoyed every piece of it.
Nice. So for a person who played at the higher level and everything you accomplished and knowing how hard it was to accomplish it, what changes do you see in players' work ethic?
It's a great question. I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing with this generation is they're willing to work hard, but they're not willing to work smart. So I have players who will live in the gym for 6 hours and just work on some of the most outrageous things, that you can see as a coach, things that they would maybe use 2 to 3 times all year.
Wow.
So, getting kids in the gym and the grind and the trainers and the social media, putting up the highlights, like working hard is no longer the issue. It's working smart and being detailed in what you do.
So one of the things I wanted to ask is, because you played at all these levels and you're a point guard, and let's face it, a lot of guys going to go in as guards.
Right.
What are some key attributes at the Division I level for a guard to have?
Just a guard in general, or point guard?
We go point guard first. Let's go point guard first.
Okay, that's two different.
Yeah. You was an elite point guard, and you was a floor general too. Right. You played with a good team with Kawhi Leonard. So tell me, what are some attributes of a point guard?
One, you have to be the most selfless player on the court, right? You have to put winning above every individual stat out there. Being able to communicate and lead, not just verbally, but by example, right? Because you're the extension of the coach. So to be a high-level elite point guard, 1, selfless, 2, being able to lead verbally and by example, and I think 3, the most important thing that what I've noticed is lost is learning how to play 2 plays ahead.
Right? You don't see that a lot.
Being able to make the read before the read happens.
Absolutely.
So those 3 things right there, I think are the key to being a high-level point guard.
Now, what about a shooting guard, small forward, in this generation right now?
In this generation, the moves that kids have nowadays are, they're next level. Right. They are next level, but I think the key is knowing when and how to use the move. Understanding the setup, right? Everything that I teach, if I'm working with somebody individually or with my team, there's nothing that we do that is more than 3 dribbles.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? There's nothing more, and the elite guys only need 2. Right? They only need 2 to get to their spot, to set up, and I think understand doing your work early. So when you catch it, you're already ready to make a play.
Absolutely.
And once again, even at that position, playing 2 plays ahead, understanding who's going to be open before the ball even hits your hands.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I'm the same way. I coach as well, and I do the same thing. If you can't make it to play within 3 dribbles, it's hard to play at the next level.
Yep.
And I get a lot of kids who want to play at the next level. They want to play college basketball. But there's a big difference between college basketball and high school basketball practice. What are some differences you see in the high school practices versus when you went to San Diego State University?
Well, in high school, very rarely, unless you're at a super school, of course, do you have 5 guys on the court that are really, really high level, right? So dominating in a high school practice, going into a college practice, using the word dominating doesn't happen a whole lot. So understanding that when you get there, everybody there was the best player at their school.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, as we all know, the speed, the physicality. You know, in high school, I averaged 30 points a game. When I went to college, I was calling back home asking, how in the world do I stay in front of guys here? You know, like this guy has 50 pounds on me. What am I supposed to do on the switch?
Yeah.
You know, so.
And probably older than you too.
Oh yeah, much older, right? I go in there to 18 and, you know, we got a senior who's 23, 24 years old,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
So the mental and the physicality, it can break you if you're not ready for it.
Right, absolutely. Totally agree.
So.
And you also played overseas. So, and I didn't play overseas, but from what I hear, is very cutthroat. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. But overseas fit my game perfectly because overseas the game is played like chess. Out here, it's pretty much bigger, stronger, faster, right? Bigger, stronger, faster in America. Who jumps the highest, you know? But out there, you got guys just sitting. You got 7-footers just sitting in the key waiting for you. You know, and it is very physical, but it's very high IQ basketball. Very high IQ basketball.
Do you have when you play basketball? Did you have a pre-game routine, like a thing where you? How did you prepare for the games? Did you watch film? Did you eat differently? Push-ups, lift weights?
That kind of evolved at every different level, right? In high school it was one thing, college it was another thing, and you know, pros was different. But in high school, like I didn't know any better. Like I was a guy when JV was playing. My thing was I had to have an In-N-Out burger before every game.
Really?
So I would sit right across from the team we were playing, and I would sit in the stands and I would eat my double and fries.
Wow. Yeah,
Right
you got a better
team.
stomach than mine, bro. I had to drink just water. That's it, bro.
You know.
But look, we got a game. I'm playing this game called Who You Got, right? So it's our brand is Score Society. We say, who do you think is a better player, better scorer, better impact? All these things factor in. So I'm gonna ask you about 5 of them.
All right, let's do it.
Okay?
Let's do it.
And these, remind you, this is all in their prime.
Okay, all in their prime.
Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose? They both got MVP.
In the prime?
Prime.
Oh, Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose? Okay. Why? You want to tell us a little bit?
I love Westbrook. LA guy.
Yeah.
I love Westbrook. But to me, Derrick Rose was someone who could win a game off will.
Very true.
Just win it just straight off will. And you know, Westbrook, he gonna win it or he gonna lose it for you.
Yeah,
you know. True. So I mean, if I'm building a team, I'm going Rose.
So fair enough. T-Mac or Kevin Durant?
Ooh. T-Mac.
T-Mac?
I'm T-Mac.
Even
guy.
with Kevin Durant with 2 rings? Or 3 rings, I think? Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm going T-Mac. I'm going T-Mac.
Jamal Crawford or Ginobili? Mono Ginobili.
Ginobili.
Ginobili?
The IQ is on a different planet.
Yeah.
IQ is on a different.
Yeah, I like Jamal Crawford, one of my favorite players of all time.
Mine too.
But you're right about that. I mean, he had a lot of flash.
Yeah.
But you know, Ginobili did what he needed to do when it came to winning championships.
Yep.
Garnett or Duncan?
Oof. No ties.
No ties.
I mean, I gotta go. I want to go Garnett, but I think I have to give it a Duncan.
Duncan? All right.
I gotta give it a Mr. Fundamental.
I know that's a close one. That's a close one for me too.
Yeah, that's 1A, 1B.
I'll go with Garnett, but that's definitely a close one.
Yeah, that's a 1A, 1B.
All right, the last one. Kawhi Leonard or Paul Pierce?
Oh, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard? Even prime?
Prime.
My guy.
Prime.
My guy. I gotta stay with the whole team. I like Kawhi. I like Kawhi.
I mean,
Paul, my guy. I had the signatures in high school, but I don't go with Kawhi.
When it comes to 2 ways, it don't get much better than that.
Oh, absolutely.
It don't get much better than that.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate your time, man.
Always.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good luck this season. I'll make sure to check out a few more games.
Yep.
There you have it. Score Society TV with my guy DJ Gay.